Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel, Workshop Fun. Today I'd just like to post an update about what I've been doing and everything I've done. I did post an update last night and I re-examined my video and I didn't like it, so I'm having another go. Okay, so I want to cover a bit of ground but not make this video too long. So I guess the first update is the Cerebi, I think it is pronounced, Cerebi GX. Very cool, useful unit, and anybody familiar with Victron will know exactly what I'm talking about. So I installed this just the other day and I've got it all set up now. So what I did is, straight after installing it, I also had that new, or have that new AC charger that was in my last video. It's the Phoenix Smart Charger and it's the 50 amp version with the 3 outputs. So you can use the Cerebi GX to remotely turn that on and off. So this is that new wire, and that runs, so that new wire runs all the way through here, up through here, and then along, and then in behind here, and then pops out here, and this is it, just there. So that there tells my battery recharger when to come on and when to go off, and it just keeps the battery completely topped up and automatically. I don't have to do anything. So yeah, that's one advantage over having the Phoenix Smart Charger. You see, I used to have the Victron Blue Smart Charger, and they are actually a cool little charger, but they do have their limits. One limit is they don't have that remote terminal there, and they don't have a relay for doing other things, and also their max output is 30 amps at 12 volts. That's their max output, whereas this is 50 amps at 12 volts. And to me, that is definitely worth having. Now, that's especially worth having in my case because I chose not to get the Multi Plus with the inverter and the charger built in. I wanted to have everything separate. So you got that redundancy there. If something breaks down, you can replace it. Not that anything should break down. Victron seems to be incredibly reliable, and that's pretty much who I've gone with. So all my solar gear is Victron. So all 4 MPPT solar chargers are all wired up. All 4 panels are wired up now too, as of today. So each solar panel has its own separate MPP Blue Smart Charger. So each one of them are the Bluetooth, and same with the Phoenix Smart Charger, that's Bluetooth as well. Now, why did I have an individual charger for each panel? Once again, redundancy. If one breaks down, then you can turn around and replace that, but you're not losing all your solar or half your solar. So that's my reasoning. Everybody's going to do it a different way though. There's many ways to roam. So it makes things definitely a bit more complicated doing it this way, but in my mind, well worth it. I also think that throughout the day, as the day changes and the sun moves, I should get better efficiency from my panels, given the fact that there's a charger for each panel, but also each charger is synced together using the VE networking. You can do that, via the Bluetooth. So they're all synced and they're all harmonized. And I got a Blue Smart temperature reader for my battery, so that's sending the information to them all the time as well. So this, even without the Cerebi or whatever, it's a good system. You know, I really like it. But the icing on the cake is this, you know, having this as well. You can do so much with this little thing. I've only just got it the other day. I've only just installed it yesterday, and yeah, I'm studying everything that can be done with it. I like the fact that it's open source, so you can mod it, and change the software and tweak it or whatever. So yeah, I haven't done that yet, and I may not ever bother. I'll see how I go. So the only thing left to do on my whole solar system now is just to get a few of the VE to USB dongles, and then that's it. Then I can rig the last 3 of my solar chargers up, and then that'll be done. The other thing I have done now is, for my inverter's sake, I've finished this. This is custom made. This time though I didn't make this grill, I just couldn't be bothered. I bought that, but I made this and, you know, screwed this on carefully. I just bought this grill in. It's actually a drain grill for drains, but it also looks really nice for this application. So, you know, that's my air intake. This is my little thermostat. I could have ran one off the Cerebi, but no, I've chosen to have this one on its own, and it's set to go on at 22 degrees Celsius and not go off until 17 degrees Celsius. So yeah, that'll do. And what that triggers, for anybody who hasn't seen my, gosh, that's a horrible noise, sorry. For anybody who hasn't seen my other videos, it triggers this big fan here, and that fan's got 3 settings. Right now I've got it on high and it's still whisper quiet. So yeah, it's really good. And that's the vent that it pushes the air out. Now I deliberately placed the fan up there because the Victron inverters, of course, they got fans of their own, and they're sucking air through here, and it gets pushed out here, the hot air, and this is directly there and able to suck all the hot air straight out and draw cool air in from the intake. And that's why I made the intake quite big as well. So I really don't think there'll be a chance of this overheating ever. The other thing I've done recently is I ditched the 1-pole AC breaker and replaced it with this 3-pole breaker. So the positive, the negative and the earth on the 240 volt side of the inverter is basically it's basically broken when there is a surge, so all 3 are knocked off. And of course this thing's earth goes back to the inverter's earth, which is right down here, and that's a 70mm square cable. So, and that's going straight down to my chassis. So makes it nice. So that's this all done. Now yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go out and I'm going to discuss my solar panels. All 4 of them are up now, and I want to discuss my reason for choosing those particular 4, and yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so here we are on the scaffolding looking at my caravan's roof, and you can see all 4 panels now. Before, in my last video, not the one that I deleted, the one before that, you could only see the 3 panels because the 4th one hadn't arrived yet. So what's my reason for choosing this group of panels? Well, I guess I could have had a bigger panel here, but anyway, I didn't really need to. this one's fine. This is a 370 watt mono cell A grade panel, and the reason why I put that at the back is that can then hopefully collect sunlight, you know, on the tail end of the day or any different, you know, part of the day. But I think it would mainly collect sunlight. I'm just thinking it would probably collect sunlight throughout the day, but especially in the tail end of the day where my caravan's situated normally. The middle one is the biggest one, and it's in the middle. Well, I guess that's pretty obvious to most people. The reason why that is in the middle is it's a 455 watt, and I want it to basically be getting as much sunlight as it can at all parts of the day. So hence why I stuck it in the middle. Then the second to last one is a 250 watt. Now the reason why I got that is that's basically the only one I could fit between the hatch, and so the kitchen hatch, and then the big lounge hatch, and I had to use slimline feet too. So yeah, that was the only reason why I chose that one, but it's a good panel too. So these last three panels are A plus grade. They're not just A grade, they are A plus grade. And yeah, their efficiency is great. I mean, even this one though is really good. Nothing wrong with it. But these ones are just a smidge better. So that's the reason why I chose the 250 watt. It's all to do with size on these things, on caravans. You got to pick and choose your sizes. If you're wanting to go with generic solar panels, then that's what you got to do. Now the last one is just a nice little 120 watt. Once again, reason for that choice is size, particularly with the last two panels. Actually, it's width. Width is the thing. I couldn't have them too wide because, you know, the last one right at the front, that one, I don't want it going right over the front because the front starts to curve off and then it wouldn't fit. So, you know, I've managed to fit that one on and fit it on nicely, and it just scrapes in. Now, the other thing about the 455 watt, that one was the opposite dilemma. I had plenty of room widthways, but the length of the caravan had to be worked out, which I did, and I tried to take into account the feet. You know, you have 6 feet, and basically that was the longest panel I could fit on there. I couldn't fit a bigger one on there. I think even the 500 watt ones were going to go over the edges of the caravan. So this is a 455 watt, and it's pretty much the biggest I could fit on this caravan roof. So yeah, that worked out well though anyway. Now, as you can see with this middle one, I actually brought the extended middle feet, and that's to give that solar panel more support. I still actually have to screw these solar panels in. It's one of the last things I've got to do. And you can see a pot there in the background, like next to the solar panel, and anvil. That little anvil is actually weighing down the pass-through while the glue is setting. And the pot I was going to use, but yeah, it wasn't going to do the job, so I just left it there, and yeah, I'll tidy all that up tomorrow or the next day once the glue is properly set. But yeah, each of these solar panels has 6 feet to support it in the wind. I wanted them to be, you know, well and truly stable on the caravan roof. And the big one I shelled out and got the extended feet for the middle, which they are actually quite expensive. You think, oh, just plastic feet. Oh yeah, nah, they still cost a bit. But what I was able to do is, the original kit that I got with this was a 6 feet kit anyway. So I kept the original middle feet and put them on the 120 watt up the front. So that's cool. Every single one of my panels has 6 feet holding it. Very nice. So now that gives me a total with the 455 watt, the 370 watt, the 250 watt, and the 120 watt. That gives me a total of 1195 watts. So I'll just round that up and say 1200 watts. 1200 watts of energy, each being controlled by its own solar charger, and every solar charger able to talk to each other, and then also going through the Cerebro, sorry, and when they begin to fail and basically the battery's dropping too low, then the AC charger, the 50 amp AC charger, kicks in right away. So I'm quite pleased with this setup. It's the first time I've actually had a stab at solar, and I'm very pleased with it. Right, now I'm just gonna get back down this scaffolding, and I'll be back. So this is the front of the caravan, and that's the front of the, that's the front of the last solar panel, the 120 watt, and as you can see, it just fitted, so that was wonderful. Okay, well, I just want to finish this video off by saying, you know, some of the reasons for my choices have been explained now, and a lot of people have been asking me, yeah, why have you gone with 4 chargers? Well, that's the reasoning, and it is more complicated, but I hope that I may gain some extra efficiency that I wouldn't have had with just the one charger, or you know, one or two big chargers. And I also hope that, you know, like I said, I don't want any of these to die, but if one did, I can just simply replace it. And this system here, as I said, I chose the Victron compact Phoenix inverter with no charger in it. Once again, redundancy. If it dies, I still got my AC battery recharger. So yeah, some people wouldn't agree with that. Some people might. Like I said though, there's many ways to roam, so each to their own really, eh? If you're happy doing it with the inverter charger, which a lot of people are, and they're getting good long lifespans out of them, then go for gold. It's all, you know, it's all up to the end user. Anyway, I hope this video helped people, and if you have any questions, yeah, please feel free to let me know.